we're done with 7 practices, and we're at a point now that you get a little more of a measuring stick of where you're at as a team. And we've made some strides, but we got to keep improving. And it's good that we have 8 more practices to improve with. A couple things from Saturday. I thought we made too many mental errors, and I think that comes with the territory a little bit with, and not to rationalize it at all, but a new offense, a new scheme, going pretty much live for the first time. So I think some of those things are there. I think there's some guys still trying to figure it out instead of just playing fast, and that's what you have to do in this game. And I think our physicalness is better, but it's not near where it needs to be as a team. We've got to be a physical football team with what we're doing running the football and what we're doing defensively. We've got to have that kind of attack and physicalness that we need. And I think the other thing on both sides of the ball as we evaluate and watch, we've got to do a better job of finishing every play and finishing through the whistle. And that's part of being physical, and that's part of having a mentality or a mindset of finishing everything we do and competing in everything we do. I thought from a defensive standpoint, I thought Davion Molden showed some real physicalness as a corner for us and some coverage things. And I thought Quincy Edwards played well. And then Miles Burris played well in there as a linebacker for us. And offensively, I thought Devon Brown showed a lot of spark and did a nice job being physical, running the football, and a nice job of making some big plays. I think Alston and Mulo did some things catching the ball and blocked better than he had so far this spring. And I think all 3 quarterbacks competed. And I can't tell you they played the way that we want them to play, but I think they're competing. And, they've got kind of a full plate when you look at being the quarterback in this offense and getting us in and out of the right plays at times. And for them, it's not an easy defense to go against every day because of the different angles that Coach Long is going to, come after them. So that's kind of the state of the union after 7 practices right now.
Brady, you talked about they needed to work on finishing plays and finishing strong. And I would think that wouldn't have anything to do with a new coach or a new coaching staff. And my question for you is that a sign of a team that's coming out of the doldrums? Like, would your team have done that last year during spring drills? A team that wants to win, used to winning. How do you explain guys not finishing a drill when they're trying to impress a brand new coaching staff?
Well, I think it's more maybe our expectations. I think, we are demanding as a staff, and I think we coach them pretty hard and we coach them pretty fair. But, the one thing every guy on this team can do is have effort, because they all can play with effort, no matter if you run a 5.5 40 or a 4.6 5.40. We want you to play at that speed all the time and finish all the time, and it's a mentality that we want to have in this program.
You think that mentality is kind of missing?
Well, I think it's an education every day. I think it's just what you as a coach and your coaches, what our expectations are, and it's not where it needs to be yet.
I've been watching the program for 20 years, and I agree it's not where it needs to be.
Well, that's why we're got 8 more practices, and we'll keep working at it.
Okay, I appreciate that. Speaking on behalf of the alums.
Midway through this thing, what positions are you kind of seeing as maybe a strength?
Well, I think we practiced without Jerry and Luke the other day, the two linebackers, and I think that position, because Logan Ketchum did some good things, Burris, Marcus Yarborough, those are the young linebackers, and Zach. I think they all showed some things of their intensity and their physicalness at that position, and then not having Jerry and Luke, I think it was good for those young guys to get the amount of reps they got. And I think that, to me, probably is as big a position of strength that we have on the team. I think our backs, Devon, I think, really has had a good spring throughout the spring. But, Atia did some good things, and Brandon ran with a little more physicalness than I'd seen earlier. So I think, we've got those three guys are doing some good things. And, but I think those two positions right now probably are the strength of where we're at as a team.
And then maybe which positions are still concerning you?
Well, the defensive linemen, we got to play better. And that's, something I got to do a better job coaching. And we got to play better there. And I think up front offensively, those two spots, that's where the game's played. So we've got to make progress in both those units.
Brady, how crucial are the linebackers in this defense? I mean, for people who don't know.
Sure. Well, I think, being guys who can be playmakers in this defense, and if it's your linebackers, then you've got a chance to be productive and positive within the defense. So I think they're real important, and they probably have the most thinking to do, and I think all of them have done a pretty good job of picking things up and playing with speed.
How competitive is that thing going to be?
Oh, I think it's going to be very competitive. And I think, that's one thing about what we want to do is, when the guys come in this room, they got to be ready to compete every day. And, I think the young guys getting some looks, I think that's got to help them.
Brady, your thoughts about Don Coryell's going to be the
Yeah.
coach coming up? Your thoughts about that?
That's awesome. Him out of practice and spoke to the team after we were done. But, Coach Coryell, you look at the significance of what he did in the game of football, San Diego State and the Chargers. And he's really was the one who branded, San Diego State football and his accomplishments and the way his teams played. And he set the bench, the bar high, and that's something that we as a football program want to, meet his expectations.
How's Mulholland?
He's going to have an MRI tonight, and then we'll find out a little more. I don't think it's. And again, I'm not the doctor, but I think, maybe not as bad as originally may have thought. So, we're just got our fingers crossed that things are going to work out. He's a good young offensive lineman who, needs a lot of work. So, hopefully he's going to be okay. No, some bumps and bruises, but, I think we had three guys that we didn't play, Jake Tananua and Jerry Milling and Luke, that we held out just to try and rest them a little bit. They had some hamstrings that, are a little tight. So just trying to give them an opportunity to rest up.
You mentioned a little bit on the offensive line. Can you maybe go left or right and maybe kind of assess where that unit is right now?
Oh, I don't know. We number one, and you just said it, they got to play as a unit. And they have to play together. And we just got to get better there. We just got to get better. And it's like the defensive line. We've got to play more physical, and that's where the game starts. So the mentality on both sides of the ball where we want to be.
Will Saturday's scrimmage be similar to this one? Back at
No. It'll be very similar. I think we got 126 plays in the other day, which is about where we wanted to be, and gave enough opportunity for a lot of guys to play and put them in the different situations that they may have during the course of a ball game, and we'll be a little more game-like next week. But with the singling in and coaches off the field entirely, from an offensive perspective, so they got to go out there 11 guys playing together, and when adversity hits, you want to see how they handle that.